Hello, Pally.
Today is November 9th, 2018.
And INFocus starts right now. A Pally club is trying to make plastic straws a thing of the past.
Fires to the north create a smoky day. We will have some tips for those with respiratory issues.
And protests against gun violence happen near Pally. We will hear from the protesters. All that and more is coming up on today's show. Welcome to INFocus. I'm Stella Essenmacher.
And I'm Leon Friedrichowitz.
Let's start out with today's campus bulletin. Dr. Eugene Cordero, a former Google Science Communication Fellow and current member of the Department of Meteorology and Climate Science at San Jose State University, is coming to speak about solving the climate crisis through youth education. The event will take place at the Foster 940 Commercial Street, Palo Alto on November 14th at 6:30 p.m. with a reception and a self-guided gallery tour. The lecture begins at 7:30 p.m. and is free for students. For more info, visit www.actera.org/lectures.
Service Fair is a time where Pally students are exposed to various opportunities to engage with their communities and volunteer with local organizations. The event happens next week on Thursday, November 15th during lunch on the Quad.
Moving on now from what's going on around campus to what's happening in the world and locally today.
Let's take a look at what's topping today's headlines in today's News Minute.
Friday, protesters gathered outside the Broward Bar of Elections headquarters in Lauderhill. The semis blocked the public view of the headquarters entrance and separated the protesters from the building. The demonstrators were there to show their displeasure with Broward County Supervisor of Elections Brenda Snipes. This is after a discrepancy in the number of votes cast for governor and senator in the county raises questions.
At least 13 people are dead after a mass shooting in California, including the gunman on Wednesday night after 11 p.m. local time at the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks. The bar was packed with students for a college county night. Investigators say the deputy is among those killed. At least a dozen others are hurt, and authorities say that the suspect has not been identified.
The Women's International League for Peace and Freedom was protesting in front of the Town and Country in Embarcadero and El Camino intersection. The intersection has a long history of being a free speech zone in Palo Alto. They are said to be protesting against recent immigration laws being promoted by the Trump administration, as well as celebrating some of the wins from the midterm election. In addition, they aim to promote awareness on gun control and the abuse of nuclear weapons. As they told INFocus, the League has a long history of activism.
So the League was founded in the heat of World War I. So women left from America on ships and went across the North Atlantic to go to The Hague in the Netherlands. And they met with about 1,400 other women from all over Europe.
We're out here today, a special event because it's our first demonstration of our every Friday from noon to 1 here on this corner. After the midterm elections. So we were here to comfort each other if necessary, to congratulate and welcome the new House members as it turned out, and also to demonstrate against the disgraceful treatment of the coming migrant caravan.
So the League was founded in the heat of World War I. So
let's move on now from the news of the present to the news of the past.
Kyle has been researching the days from when our state's population was quite a bit smaller.
I bet traffic was a lot better back then.
It probably was, but unless you like riding with horses, I think I'll stick with traveling in a car on a congested freeway. Not only were horses the best way to get around, they also helped deliver the mail as well. And way back in 1848, just 2 years before California's statehood, the first U.S. post office in California opened up just north of us in San Francisco at Clay and Pike Streets. At the time, there were only about 15,000 European settlers living in California. Back to you.
Thanks for that great story, Kyle.
Hey Stella, I thought that our homecoming was our last home game for the football season.
Yeah, me too, but I heard that there are actually more. Jason is in the studio now with the latest in Pally Sports news. What's the game plan?
It's a light schedule for today. Girls varsity tennis settled a score against Monte Vista, the #1 seed in CCS. 4-3 was the result. Today at Pally, varsity football will play against Los Gatos in a playoff game. Kickoff starts at 7 p.m. On Saturday, boys varsity water polo will take on Los Gatos at home, starting at 1:15 p.m. Also on Saturday, girls varsity tennis will meet at home against Cupertino. 11 a.m. is the time. Back to you.
Thanks, Jason. I actually heard that the air quality was bad today, so they're going to postpone the football game. But now Thomas is here to tell us about the weather. Thomas, how is the weather today?
That's right. The fires really are causing the air to be thick and smoky. There are real aerial shots of the campfire north of us in Butte County. Usually by this time of the year, we see the end of California's fire season, but warmer temps and lack of rain have extended the season. So for those with respiratory issues, be sure to wear a mask, limit activity, and try to stay inside. Let's start off by taking a look at today's air quality. So it's looking pretty low today usually. Low is not actually a very good sign since it becomes, you usually want it high, so around 76 today, usually around mid-50s. As we look at weather today in San Francisco, we have a high of 68 with a low of 44. It's around 67 degrees with no wind actually since there's all the smoke coming south. And as we look at Oakland, we have a high of 71 with a low of 43, roughly around 69 degrees right now. As we go down south, it's a high of 74 and a low of 42. It's actually looking pretty sunny down south since there's no smoke. Today in Palo Alto, it was around 69 degrees. We had a high of 72, low of 44. Winds at about 2 miles an hour. Humidity around 13%, so not as humid today. And as we look at Saturday and Sunday, we have highs of low 70s, lows of mid-50s. As we look at the rest of the days, we're looking at mid-70s throughout the rest of the week and low 40s for the lows. I'm Thomas Colburn, your weatherman, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Thomas. Well, that does it for today's episode.
Be sure to visit our website to check out an old episode or to check the bulletin or to send us an email.
Until next time, have a great day, Pally.